Hey, this is Mike Bell. I want to welcome you back to Purpose. This episode of A Change in Hustle. When we left off, we were talking to Andre, man, and we were talking about, we left off talking about how, prison affected you and the time that you spent in prison. So when you come out of prison, you entering into a different world. What was your mindset and what was you thinking?
Man, when I came out of prison, I didn't even know how to work a phone.
What?
I started there. Things
Was social media even out before you went in?
What they had?
MySpace?
MySpace. Yeah,
but no MySpace. Facebook, no Instagram.
Facebook, no Instagram. We had Nextels. Boop, boop. Where you at? Like that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Two ways.
Yeah, we had the 2-way. Yeah, all that. So first of all, I had to learn how to use the touchscreen. I didn't even know how to use the phone.
So they had flips.
Yeah, you had flip Nextels, man. So starting out with the basics, like the basic things was a challenge, it was a challenge, the basic things. So outside of that, getting readjusted, it was a humbling experience, getting released from prison, going to the halfway house for six months, catching the bus. Yeah, I caught mass transportation. But all that was humbling because it's like starting over. It's like starting your life over. Happy to be here, but you get a smack in the face of reality when you get here. Like certain things you just can't prepare yourself for.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, it was a big challenge. Big challenge is like seeing people you think familiar or look familiar, but you don't even realize where you know them from, and you may know them for years. But I've been extracted from society for so long. It's like
you enter into a different world.
Like you look familiar, but do I know you? Where
right.
are you from? Like it's that type of thing. It really played a part.
Right.
So it's the simple stuff. It was the little things that I need to adjust with first and foremost, and then like just getting myself together. Being a father, knowing I have responsibility. I hold myself to a certain standard. So I'm not just gonna go for anything or do anything.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I understood it. And I just took the necessary steps to get myself together. That's all.
So, you enter into the same type of environment. Mm-hmm. You come back out, you go in from this environment, but you enter back into the same environment. How were you able to stay focused entering into the same environment? Well,
one thing, like I say, I armed myself with necessary tools. I grew. I became a man first and foremost.
Okay.
So a lot of things I wasn't into. I'm not going for a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So it's like I had to put some things away. I grew into my own, and outside that, so I knew that I had to do certain things. My mentality was different. So certain things that used to attract me then, it didn't attract me now.
Right.
I understood that I couldn't get that back. I never had the mentality like I want back was old. I understood like I'm just moving forward.
Right.
So, like I said, it was a humbling experience. I armed myself properly. Like I said, I came out with a certification, knowing that.
What certification you had?
Personal trainer.
Oh, really? Okay. So they do that in prison. They'll give you a certification for that?
Yeah. In federal prison, I was able to acquire that. So that I armed myself with some necessary tools. Like I had a plan. I knew I wanted to train. I knew I had my clothing line and my brand, Republic of Great Men. It's a whole movement behind it. I had certain things in place, and I stayed in contact while I was in with the necessary, with the guys, the proper guys, positive guys, as I was exiting.
Right.
That was already out here that came before me. So all that helped me in my process or transition and coming out.
Yeah. So when you came out, did you ever, think about going back into the streets, or were you fully focused on moving your life forward in a new direction?
Well, I was fully focused on moving myself in the right direction. First of all, I couldn't let my people down. I had if anybody wasn't there by the duration of my incarceration, my mother was there.
Okay.
I couldn't let my mother down. I have a child. I got to give it to her first. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm a man at the end of the day. I know my responsibility, so I couldn't go back there. I know I can always do that.
Right.
I could do that. That's second nature. I can do it. So I was giving myself a chance, giving my life a chance, you know what I mean? But because I have to be here for other people.
Man, one thing that I really admire about you, bro, is, man, you stay focused. Like, that's one thing that I really admire about you is your ability to focus. Like, when you focus on something, you lock into it.
Yeah, I like it.
But, focusing is not always easy when you come from making fast money and then you come out and you're not making nothing. So how was that transition for you making fast money to starting from the bottom. I mean, you really starting from the bottom, like building your life. And how old were you?
When I left,
when you came home?
I was 33. I'm sorry, 33.
So at 33, you starting from the bottom. You used to making fast money, and now you coming home to like having to work a job. You got to build from the bottom. How were you able to do that, and how were you able to stay focused on your goals and stay focused on your mission? Because here's the truth: there's some people out here that probably need to hear this. There's some people out here that really probably need to hear exactly how you was able to do this. Because I mean, a lot of guys, when they come out, even if you look at statistics, most of the people that are getting arrested are repeat offenders. Right. Because it's hard coming out. You're coming out in an environment where you don't know. You're coming out where you're not able to get jobs. You're coming out where you don't have the means that you used to have. And it's easy to really get sucked back into that environment. But how were you able to stay focused when you used to making the fast money, but now you're starting from the bottom?
Like I said, a lot of things played a part in that. First and foremost, like I say, I stayed in contact with like-minded people.
Okay.
Good brothers that was on the same positive way. That really played a part in it. So therefore, I'm surrounding myself with that.
Right.
So I'm not surrounding myself with I purposely avoided a lot of street activity, like going to the clubs and things like that. So I wouldn't be in that mind frame of trying to catch up. I armed myself mentally, like, nah, I can't do this. So therefore, and then I understand everything for a certain. While I was in, man, I was seeing what was coming in.
Right.
And like the guys that's coming in, like, man, I would deal with them in the street. You got a bunch of guys who, I looked at it like I understood that the game, the way it's set up, I got a full understanding of it, and I wanted more for myself.
Right.
So therefore, it's like my mind frame was different. So I was like, I just got the drive to get it. And like I said, I'm not gonna be beat. I have too many different talents for me to be stagnated by the game or something, a situation where I know the risk factor doesn't outweigh the risk factor outweighs the basically the growth that you could get in the game.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not worth it.
Man, when we come back, we're going to talk about a situation that happened that was really traumatic in Dre's life. So after this break, we're going to come back with more of Purpose.